Hey guys, you're watching Chaotic TV. We are at an Antigua shipyard in Game 5 of this best of 5. That means it's tied 2-2 between these two awesome players. The Zerg awesome player in the top left of this map is the pink Zerg from Evil Geniuses. He is the Frenchman Stephano.
And spawning across from him, the bottom position on Antigua shipyard, it is the red Protoss player from SK Gaming, is MC.
And it looks like he's going for that forward pylon that he did put in every map so far. Forge,
Fast, Forge, Expand, or an Expand Forge, one of the two.
Yep. It's a little bit safer, but with these two
map
players,
generally you can get away with the Nexus first, just because they have 3 positions to scout you in.
Well, I mean, if it's a forced cross spawn and the players know it, then I think they're okay. But both players do scout. They respect each other, but they also don't trust each other to allow them to go into that mid-game without any kind of harassment. Stephano is looking for any kind of forward pylon shenanigans from MC. Let's put up those nameplates. And Stephano, or MC, is looking for any 10-pool type setup from Stephano. So there's the 14 pool, and MC knows he's pretty safe at this point to put down probably a Nexus first. I bet that he's going to put down a Nexus first.
Is there forced cross spawns on this map? I didn't even know that.
It was at least in the recent patch for ladder, at least in the Heart of the Swarm beta. I'm not exactly sure if it was put down in the Wings of Liberty, but since
that would help me out a lot on the ladder.
Yeah. I think it's what they were planning. I don't exactly know if they put it in or they hard patched it. But MC does go for that Forge first. He thinks that since there's the spawning pool, you know, it's just safer to put down the Forge first, and then he will put down the Nexus before he puts down a photon cannon, though.
Something you can do with this type build is you can get into that third base of the Zerg player and drop some cannons where the hatchery would go, and that just delays that by a lot, because it takes more than a few Zerglings to kill a couple of cannons.
Yes, it does indeed. We do see almost a full wall off by MC, just pretty standard type stuff, only 1 hex open for movement out. An Immortal, as we've noted, can get out of a single hex, but you need 2 hex for a siege tank, so beware Terran players about walling in too much. That's why.
Also Archons.
Oh yeah, Archons.
Just more relevant, since, you know, Protoss players can make them.
But with that warp gate technology, you can always put them down in a forward pylon and morph them outside.
Mm-hmm.
Both players still doing pretty standard type shit, or excuse me, stuff that we've seen in the previous 4 games. Stephano taking that third base, which is oh so easy on Antigua Shipyard. That's why some people cry about it, because even Protoss go into that third base. But MC, walling off with this kind of setup he's got going here, it doesn't look like he's going to take his third more quickly than we've seen in the last 4 games. He's going to go for another kind of 2-base timing attack. Might even be another Stargate play.
Yeah, we saw. Did MC won the last game, right?
He did indeed. He won.
If this is a fixed format tournament, or if Stephano, I have no idea why a Zerg player would pick Antigua Shipyard, but so I'm guessing it was a fixed format tournament. But
well, he might have.
Who knows? He could have a strategy set up.
MC might have vetoed Entomb Valley or something like that, just so that Stephano didn't get a better map or a larger map or something like that. This is a pretty fair map between these 2 races. I mean, Terran takes the cake generally on this, but on a ladder versus more amateur players, Blink Stalkers is a huge play for Protoss on this map. But for MC and Stephano, it's not so much. We do see Warp Gate coming out and a Stalker, which means he's not putting down a Stargate just yet. He could have used all of that extra gas and minerals for an earlier Stargate, so he's probably going to go into more of a ground army type setup that we've seen in some of the previous games, and not for the Stargate we saw in Game 1. Stephano's third base is getting up and running, and he still hasn't taken his gases yet. As we mentioned in the last game, he is a proponent of the gasless expand, and the circling speed starts right now, and it'll be up to Stephano to protect his base against the possible attack of MC that we've seen him push against the early infestors in previous games. A robotics facility coming down for him right now. This Overlord is sacrificing its life to see what it can, but it will not see that robotics facility.
Just 3 gateways working in. And right behind that comes 3 more, so we could see some Sentry Immortal play here.
Yep, we could see the +2 blink. But it doesn't look like it because we didn't see the council come down. We are going to see it on the Warp Prism for a forward pylon type setup, maybe even a little bit of elevator play or a kind of harassment drop of Zealots into the back of Stephano's main base, because there is no protection. There's only macro hatch and a brand new Roach Warren. Observer coming out for MC. 2 upgrades coming down for Stephano. The metabolic boost is about to finish, and +1 missile attacks has started.
Yeah, with that Warp Prism, he's going to drop the sentries and then warp in. So he's going to want to force field off the ramp to keep the army out and use the warp-ins to kill whatever he can. Queen, Zealots, that kind of thing.
Yep, and looks like Stephano is denying this forward pylon. Going to get cancelled right there, but MC is going to continue forward this attack. Going to try to force field before Stephano can get all his Zerglings back in. He's got to really try. No force field comes down, and he has to lift all of these warp-ins getting taken out by the Roaches and Zerglings of Stephano. It is indeed sloppy. He gets away with 2 of the sentries, but the forward pylon, the cross the map walking Zealot and Stalker are not going to get away. At least not the Zealots in this battle.
You can pick a couple of Zealots.
Oh, he did pick them up. Very, very cool.
He's going to need that sentries back at home to defend here. He's warping in more now, though, so he'll be okay. He's just going to get that Warp Prism back home and drop off the army and continue to macro up. Getting some morals out now.
This Roach speed is a big deal for Stephano, because it does give his units so much more mobility. It's not exactly a necessary type thing in this choke between these 2 bases, the main and the 3rd base, but it does give you a little bit more map control on this kind of base. And if he gets a drop set up for Stephano, I'll be very happy, but I don't expect it.
And this early Warp Prism play was the planned play from MC here, with the Warp Prism coming up before even an Observer or an Immortal, so he was just planning to do some damage with that. That being said, it might put him behind a little bit, or even down in morale. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But
he's replaced the 2 sentries in that Warp Prism with just 2 extra Zealots, so it's getting spotted by this Queen, but he is going to lose the Queen, I think, to these 4 Zealots. Great micro by Stephano, a couple of Roaches saving it, and now he's got Zerglings following everything. The Observer sees all of Stephano's army out in front of MC's base, and he moves forward to see that the way is completely blocked by 3 Immortals and a number of sentries and Zealots.
Yeah. This whole failed Warp Prism play has put MC a little on the back foot. He's just now got his Toy Council down to do +2 attack. He hasn't got his 3rd base yet, and Stephano's got his 3rd base completely saturated. So Stephano's in a good place to move forward into this game. That being said, a Protoss player in a defensive position with tech units is still a hard thing to break.
It is indeed. Stephano is one of those players that likes to go for the middle expansion as opposed to the 4th along the edge. So we'll probably see him put down an expansion at one of these former gold bases in the middle next to the Zelnaga Watchtower. He's got 3 spine crawlers coming in at home just to protect against all of these drops that MC seems to be planning on doing. Blink and Protoss weapons level 2 coming in, as well as the robotics base. We are going to see some Colossus coming out of this. But big fungal on this Warp Prism is going to knock it out with these infested Terrans.
And infested Terran, and a Queen. 2 fungals though, so it used a bit of energy just to deal with that little harassment unit of the Warp Prism.
MC taking a 3rd base right now, having already put up a couple of pylons at the edges of the ramp. He's going to be able to hold this off pretty well. He's already got his forces spread out in the middle of this choke, or lack of choke, and the Immortals are there to do some punishment if the force fields are useful.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty easy place to defend. Just you can split the army right in half with force fields, and he has a good enough composition to deal with the Stalker Roach mix.
Looks like Stephano's
The
going to
Berserk
use
got picked off.
this other ramp. Oh, that is a good point. There are no probes for these Zerglings to attack, but Stephano takes the high ground and then moves forward with his main army against this huge line of attack right here. Great force field, splitting up everything. Great infestor Terrans moving forward to try to pick off what they can. And there are flanks coming from the high ground now from Stephano, because he was able to take out the units up in that third base. The Immortals are doing a huge amount of damage, 7 kills, 9 kills, 13 kills, and Stephano may not be able to push against this, especially with the Colossus coming out. He pulls back all of his units that are still alive.
The Colossus really saved him there. If it wasn't for that, the reinforcing Zerglings would have just ran in and mopped up that army. But with the Colossus there, Zerglings are no.
And Stephano's going to come back home, build a greater spire, continue getting his upgrades, melee and carapace right now. A couple more spine crawlers out here in the middle of the map just to use up some of his extra minerals, which is an oh so important use for Zergs. He's got 4 at his third base, and the creep spread is continuing just a little bit across the map. Not exactly aggressive creep spread from our French Zerg player.
He's just now going to expand to the bottom left side of the map.
No, so he is taking a fringe expansion. It's actually not even the closest one to his creep. If he knocked down the rocks at the one just east of his main base and creeped up into there, he would have a much quicker route than walking all the way around.
Yeah, it's just, that's a much less likely place. It's almost a hidden expansion, taking that main for that other position. Might be given away slightly with creep spreading that direction, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. That's something pretty nuanced to pick up on in the heat of the moment of a game like this. So
he does expand to the middle, so this is what MC will be looking for a 4th base, and that 5th base might just be an extra bonus for Stephano if he's able to keep it out of the way and undetected. It is kind of vulnerable to a warp prism because it's so close to MC's base by direct, as the warp prism flies, I should say. But MC continuing to build up most of his army. He's still getting that 003 type setup. He only is going off 1 forge. That's kind of a stylistic choice. You see some other Protoss going for the double upgrades, which is kind of very punishment to...
Stephano has such a strong army here, though. 15 infestors, Birdlords adding in. He's going to have a strong army here. Here we see some more drones being sacrificed to... Well, never mind, they're not being made spines. They're going to the 4th and 5th bases. I'm dumb, don't mind me.
There are 18
spine crawlers.
Spines already out on in this choke between these 3 bases and 4 up on the high ground.
Yeah.
So I think Stephano's in a good spot right now, but his 5th base might be seen by this incoming probe. If it's not taken out, there it is, taken out by that Zergling, but MC will probably send over an observer just to see if there is indeed a 5th base there.
Yeah, right now, so you see Stephano macroing really well. He's got no gas, which is the limiting factor for his Zerg army at this point. His upgrades are still coming in. Melee attacks level 2, fire attacks level 1. Also ground army level 3. So he's going to have a really strong army for MC to fight when it does come time to fight. Which you don't see very often, but the Zerg player might actually have the stronger army.
Oh yeah, it's very rare against a maxed out army as a Zerg player. You want to be able to reinforce quickly. These 2 bases in the 5th and 4th area are pretty much just for gas consumption, but some emergency spines coming in at the 5th base. These zealots are going to be able to wreak some pretty decent havoc, but they are completely surrounded by Zerglings, which don't yet have that adrenal gland upgrade, I believe. Oh, they do have it. So cracklings against charge lots, that's going to be in the crackling favor.
They're 2/2 Zerglings versus 0/3 zealots, so I'm going to bring some Blinkstalkers in to add to that, and they're just overwhelmed now.
Big blink forward to try to take out all of these spine crawlers all get canceled right before the end, but he's going to lose his 5th base. The 4th base is up and running, at least the gas mining is, and it looks like Stephano's going to try to move forward with these Broodlords to take out the units that are going to be trapped in the 5th base of Stephano.
Yeah. MC is really scrambling to get his whole army back together here so that exactly what you're saying doesn't happen. He did a good job in that case, but he has left his base at the front door vulnerable. And Stephano's about to send some roaches in and find that out. Oh, that's a good wall off at the 3rd base. I've never seen that before. Just keep Zerglings out of his mineral line.
Oh, yeah, that is quite a good shot. I didn't even see that counterattack, but it is being cleaned up by these warped-in zealots. How many workers were killed? Just still under 10, so not a huge economic impact at this point. Oh, yeah.
That costs nothing for them. There we see the Stargate coming down.
27 workers killed. What the F? When did that happen?
Just now.
Really? Right after those 2 zealots died, all of those probes got killed?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Way to go, Cracklings.
Oh, there's already a fleet beacon, because he's got 4 carriers in production. Whoops. Missed that one.
Yeah, MC might be able to pull off the 4 carriers, but I actually think that he and Stephano have done this late-game ZVP carriers versus Corruptor Broodlords on Cloud Kingdom, I believe it was, and Stephano took the win in that game. These spine crawlers are everywhere for Stephano. There is no way a zealot run-by is ever going to happen. But it looks like the zealot warp-in will happen, and he will lose his 5th base to a Void Ray and zealots of all plate composition.
Yeah, we see Stephano preparing for the mothership switch with Mineral Parasite coming out. That's also useful against carriers since there's such high-tech units in one unit. Mineral Parasite on a few carriers, and, well, there goes the whole Protoss army.
Yep, the AI can't handle that many kind of interceptor magic, as it were, I don't think. But Stephano's right now, he's in a pretty decent place. He's not being allowed to expand, which is a problem, but when he gets his creep up and over there, he'll be able to protect anything.
He's already maxed out with decent bank coming in. He's just turtled up for now, waiting for his last few upgrades to finish for him.
And his bank is quite the good right now. 3,000, 300, 1,100 versus the 300, 800 of MC. MC having a Templar Archives, but not electing to build any Archons at this point. He's just investing in this Sky Toss type setup of carriers.
Mm-hmm. He's upgrading air weapons level 1. Now he's throwing some High Templar, and those will probably become Archons. Does he even have Sidestorm researched? I'm sure he does. Where's that? I know what Templar Archive looks like, I promise. There it is. He doesn't even have Sidestorm, so they will be Archons.
The Harvester count is definitely in Stephano's favor because he actually has mining bases compared to MC. MC on 40 Harvesters for only 1.5 mining bases.
That being said, there's
the army
2
supply
mining
is in
as
his
natural.
favor. True. The army supply is in MC's favor by the 20 supply of the lack of Harvesters. That's 3 extra carriers and an extra zealot or 2. This 5th base will be spotted by these Cracklings, but there's not enough there to save the base at all, and it looks like there's going to have to be some emergency reinforcements from Stephano to save this base.
Yeah. He's not terribly worried about it. That's just an investment for even farther into the game. Right now he's in good shape. He's got decent bank. He has 5 hatcheries ready to remax after a fight happens, so he just doesn't want to lose a fight super badly, and if he can clean up most of the carriers in one go, he should be just fine to finish out the game.
His melee and carapace are completely maxed out. The only thing is missile weapons level 3 for the non-existent roaches right now, and Overseer took a little damage, but has seen, I think, these carriers that are coming in. There's 7 on the map, I think.
Yeah, as soon as he saw that, he dropped a whole bunch of spore crawlers out on the map just to supplement his static defenses here.
And continuing the creep spread in his favor.
He knows that he's maxed and he can't afford more corruptors, but he has a good number.
He is lowering his overall supply right now probably a couple of more Brood Lords. The corruptions are going to go down on these carriers if the corruptors ever get a handle on it, but the infested Terrans are there to snipe some of these interceptors.
Yeah, fungal of the interceptors.
Ooh, look at that!
Well,
a huge fungal, 2 chain fungals and a loss of an overlord.
Each one of those interceptors does cost 25 minerals, so I mean that's something in a late game scenario, especially with the amount of minerals in MC's base is dwindling down.
Exactly, he's about half, or he's less than a third remaining on all of the mineral line of his 3rd base, and there is nothing left in his 2nd base. So Stephano is going for the soft contain, not a very soft contain, but a very large concave that he's got spreading almost all the way across the map with his creep and his spine crawler, spore crawler setup.
Yep, so I'm using a single corruptor to draw interceptors out, and then using the rest of the corruptors to kill them. Just doing what he can right now. I mean, I guess it's something you don't think of very often, but like I said, each interceptor costs 25 minerals.
Plenty of Archons on the map right now, and when this last attack does happen, I kind of fear for MC because the Broodlord concave is so long. If there were a mothership over here, it wouldn't be able to vortex anything. But there is no mothership, only carriers, which I guess MC might be a little regretting right now because they don't have any upgrades.
Yeah, both players are maxed out, and well, he's getting air weapons level 3 now, but so is Stephano. So they're both going to be on 3 attack for their flying things. Yes, things.
Big fungal on the corruptors right here, or excuse me, on the Colossi, and those corruptors move forward. The corruptions have gone down on a number of these carriers.
Huge jumps over the corruptors.
Oh yeah, and indeed on these infested Terrans that are going to be the main damage against the interceptors. No target fire from these corruptors. They are attacking the interceptors themselves, but the Broodlords just keep marching forward against all the lack of ground army left for MC, and big corruptions going down from these 21 corruptors that are attacking and single target firing big
now they can
Templar storms.
Carriers with no more storms. Well, not many more storms anyway.
And there's the GG from MC. He takes 4th place. Stephano takes 3rd place. And we're going to have to go into the finals match, best of 5 for you fine folk watching Chaotic TV. I am KO.
And this is Eclipse. Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time. Cheers.